Checking in here at the home base, South Florida, beautiful South Florida. Gonna do some really cool stuff today. Checking in live and gonna do some really cool stuff for you guys right now. Let me get all my stuff up and running here so I can make sure what I've got going on. But check out what you can see on the table. Let me know what you guys can see on the table here. And let me know if you can recognize anything. Comment right now and let me know what you guys can recognize here that's sitting on the table. All right, just wanted to make sure that the video's good quality, coming in good. And I'm going to tell you guys about a new product today. Okay, you probably already know what the new product is. I'm stoked about it. It's an awesome new product. Let me know if you already know what it is. I'm going to teach you guys how to make a cocktail that is kind of like my kind of go-to for the cigar. I like to smoke the occasional cigar, and I then have one of these cocktails that I've got in front of me. So actually I'm going to make it. I'm going to mix it right here. I'm going to talk a little bit about how to make this. It's kind of a version of an old fashioned. My version is the Bone Old Fashioned, if you want to call it that. And it is like I said, my version. It's got a little bit of Florida kick to it, but I'm going to talk to you about making a fine cocktail and the difference between drinking responsibly and just drinking to get drunk, which obviously we don't promote on this channel. I'm going to do an unboxing here, some stuff that I've got sitting over here. This has all been sent to me, and we've got flashlights and boating stuff and just some cool stuff. First, let me just knock this new product out of the way. Oh, I'm going to finish off with a nice little Cuban cigar and do some questions and answers after I make my cocktail. Here's the shirt, okay guys? This is actually a jersey. It's the jersey that I'm wearing. The back's pretty awesome too. Allows you to be part of the team. If you'd like to be part of the Bone Tactical team, now you can be. All right, it's called the Bowler jersey. It's available on www.bonetactical.com. I kind of came out with this jersey because I love wearing jerseys. I work out a lot all the time, train always in the gym. I wanted a cool jersey, but I didn't want to support a sports team that was not, that was doing the wrong things, that was not a positive role model for these young guys out here, that just really, making rich people richer and just all the nonsense that professional athletes are talking about and doing today. I wanted to make a jersey that was every bit, this is hand-stitched, triple-stitched, stitched on letters here, triple-stitched seams, not hand-stitched, I'm sorry, embroidered, okay, stitched on the back as well. It's like equal to like a $300 Nike jersey. Okay, it's all stitched. It's all stitched, embroidered, the real deal. Anyway, check that out if you like jerseys. It's a pretty great price for what it is. It's basically like an authentic NBA jersey, but you're supporting the right thing, and you're standing up for what's right and making the world a better place, like what we do here. So let me get right into the unboxing now, and then I'll open for questions and answers towards the end. This is from amarine.store. That's actually the website, amarine.store. Amarine, all one word, .store. They sent me this stuff. This siphon pump, actually, you guys check out my Overland Expedition playlist here on YouTube. You guys have already seen me using this in one of the most remote locations in the world. I've used this same pump in La Mosquitia, Honduras, to siphon water for drinking water in the middle of a monsoon, actually. The video's up here on the channel. Go check it out. So these siphon pumps, they're cheap. They're awesome. I think the best thing about this Amarine store, amarine.store is the actual website. There's no .com or anything. There's amarine.store. The best thing is their prices. Their prices are just legit. It's made in China stuff. It's, inexpensive stuff, but it works. So this pump is so much cheaper than any other pump that you can get. It's just, the stuff's just dirt cheap. I asked them to send me a line. It's a rope because we're on land right now, but as soon as I put it on the boat, it'll be a line. So I asked them to send me a dock line for the boat, and they did, and it looks great. It looks like a very high quality nylon dock line. It's got the small tie offs. Okay, it's not burnt. It's actually tied off, and it's burnt as well, but it's tied off with the smaller threads right on the seams and on the joints. So it just looks like a great quality. And again, you can go to West Marine and buy you could buy 10 of these for the price you can get one at West Marine. So it's hard to beat some stuff like that from China. So check them out if you're a boater. It's pretty much all boating stuff. Actually, this stuff on the table here is all made in China stuff. If you guys want really high quality craftsman, handmade, 100% handmade stuff, that's going to be the stuff behind me. You're going to have to check out www.bonetactical.com. Everything you see here is 100% handmade, okay? If you guys want cheap machine-made stuff, this is what we're talking about right here. This is the Chinese stuff. I'll send you over to their website. But if I make it myself, it's, you know, artisan quality, extremely, extremely high quality, and yeah, it's my stuff's kind of semi-expensive. I also have a price-friendly line, you know, a user-friendly line as well, budget-friendly line, if you will. I have some budget-friendly tools. This guy here, I don't know if you can see it or not, the EDC Relentless and the EDC or the NPE Ghost Knife are both only $30. So this guy says it's locked. I don't know how to turn this thing on, but this guy is a 500 lumen keychain light. You know, they say it's 500 lumen, and this thing is tiny. It's from Nightcore, and if you guys are looking for a keychain flashlight, this thing looks really cool. It's got a little digital LED readout, and it may not come charged, even though it is showing something on the little screen. It's showing a little lock with a number 2 on there. So maybe you guys can let me know what that means in the comments below. Somebody comment and tell me whatever the heck that means. I guess it just means it's out of power. Well, there we go. You gotta double click it. Okie dokie. Wow, it's pretty bright. I don't know if I'm gonna say it's 500 lumens, but that's pretty cool. I don't know if you guys can see how tiny this thing is. This thing is tiny, tiny, but that's pretty awesome. It's rechargeable and tiny. I'm actually I don't get a lot of products that I'm wowed over, but the build quality on this thing actually looks great. It looks great. It's cool. It's got a bunch of different modes on there. That's neat. It's even got a lock on there, so you can lock it. It's got a lock mode. Let me see how it's got, wow, it's got a watch on there. It's got a lumen readout. It says, okay, so it even says how many lumens, digital LED display. 1 lumen, 15 lumens, 65 lumens, 200 lumens, and you know, then I guess you can do the turbo mode, I guess, which is 500 somehow. Let me see how I do that. And there's its 500 turbo mode. Huh, that's pretty interesting. All right. Alrighty, well that's cool. It's got a clock on there. Oh, it's got a lock key, so it's a keychain, so it doesn't come on in your pocket. It's got a lock feature, which is very cool. All right, I may feature this in another video, I may not, but that's actually really cool. I'm not normally impressed. I give something the time that it deserves. When somebody sends me an unboxing, if it's awesome, somebody sends me something for an unboxing, if it's awesome like this, I'll take some time and go through it. This thing's cool. I'm not gonna lie. But also, you guys saw in the last unboxing video I did, this Chinese store called Vaunt sent me some stuff, and I was like, guys, don't send me anything else because this stuff sucks. So if it sucks, I'm gonna say it sucks, and if it's awesome, I'm gonna say it's awesome. So this is awesome. This is cool. All right. Now, I've already been working with ThruNight for quite some time, and we've been going back and forth, and they basically told me, they said, we want you to do more videos. And I said, look guys, you guys have been sending me so much stuff, I'm always unboxing your stuff. I want to give somebody else a chance to get in on these unboxing videos other than ThruNight, even though your stuff is good. And they said, well, how can we do it? And I said, you know, I don't want to take money from you guys because that's going to be, then, you know, I'm getting paid to push something. I'm not getting paid to push any of this stuff. I want to be honest about it, okay? So I told them, look, send me 5 lights. That way I can give them, when I go back overseas to Central America, I can give them to some of my buddies, I can give them to people who need them, stuff like that. Send me at least 5 of your best lights, and I'll talk about all of them, because we've already talked about a bunch of their lights. I've never had a problem with one of their lights. I've seen their build quality. The build quality is good on their stuff. It's, you know, it's Chinese and it's inexpensive, but it's it's good, you know, this stuff works. And that's basically what you look for in a flashlight, is you want, obviously you want reliability, and I've never had a problem with one of these lights. So I've had a problem with American made lights. So, you know, we'll see. I haven't had a problem with them yet, but I told them to send me this bad boy. And this is like, this is comparable to, this thing's massive. It's comparable to some very, 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 very expensive lights. We're talking 4,400 lumen. What's the max? I believe the max is 4,400 lumen. But it's a floodlight, so I'm gonna get this out on the boat and do some future testing videos versus the other. I just put a boating video up testing a spotlight on the boat that I really liked. So I'm gonna do some videos testing this one. But if you guys are in the market for a super bright spotlight and you don't want to spend a bunch of money, this is gonna be hard to beat, I would say. I'll test it in the future. But this is the TN40S, and it's 4,000 lumens. That's a crazy amount of light, guys. So let me go on down the line here and talk about the rest of these that we got here. I'm gonna just pull all of these rubber bands off these boxes. And like I said, I've tested a lot of through night flashlights, guys. I've tested a bunch of them, and I've never had a problem with one. You guys can see there's tons of videos up here of me testing through night flashlights. I've gone through, a bunch with them, and they've got basically every size. If you guys are looking for an EDC light, I highly recommend a light like this. Let me see if this one's rechargeable or not, because it definitely needs to be rechargeable, in my opinion, as far if you're going to be carrying it around EDC. This one may not be rechargeable. So, but this is a good size, like they call it a pen light, because it fits. It can be used as a Kubotan, fits in your hand well, but it also to me, my biggest thing is it fits well in your pocket, because who has a ton of room in their pockets? This doesn't even have a battery with it. So I'm guessing it's definitely not rechargeable. They didn't send a battery with it. That kind of sucks. How am I supposed to, I guess you expect me to provide my own batteries? Not for testing purposes. All right, let's see what we got next. This one is, let's see if this one's rechargeable. Usually they come with a charger if they're rechargeable 9 times out of 10. That's kind of a no-brainer, huh? Let's see what we got. This one I like a lot better as far as being able to be used with a Kubotan. So some guys comment on my videos and they say, hey, we want a flashlight that uses common batteries, okay? I don't necessarily like that, because common batteries aren't so common everywhere in the world. But for you guys looking for common battery, that must have been just a AAA I just put over there, and then this is the AA. And this one's actually great for Kubotan defense because of the size of it, and it's got the ridges and crests on the top and the bottom. So the clip being in the middle makes it suck, because you actually can't carry it because it's going to be halfway sticking out of your pocket. So that's not super smart. I guess you can put it up higher, but the carry design on that one, I can already tell you I don't like. So not a big fan of either one of those two lights personally myself, but like I said, hey, I'm going to keep it honest, guys. I'm going to keep it straight up. This one's definitely rechargeable because it's got the charging port right there on the side of it, and it's bright red, which, I guess it's cool for emergency. And this is just a really standard through night. This is the TT20. It's Lumen up to, I don't know, I'm not going to dig through all the stuff here, but this is an interesting one. But they've got, this is a tactical light, standard tactical light, rechargeable. So check them out if you want. If you're looking for a duty light, if you work security, if you want a light to keep in your vehicle, I would highly recommend getting something like one of these rechargeable jobs. This is another non-rechargeable one. So they've got several versions, okay? Several versions. Definitely look into checking those out. Now, I don't know if you guys were looking forward to this section where I was going to make a cocktail here, but if you were, I'm gonna teach you how to make a bone old fashioned. So, I'll just talk you through it. An old fashioned, it's called an old fashioned because it's very old. It's one of the oldest cocktails that's around. And it came from a time when there wasn't all kinds of, when you couldn't just go down to the store and buy bitters, orange bitters, which we're going to be using today, and you couldn't just go down to the liquor store or order off Amazon some Collins orange twist and syrup already ready to go. All right, you had to prepare everything yourself, and stuff like this takes time to prepare. All right, they didn't have stuff like that back then. Also, people didn't, cocktails weren't what they were. You had a drink, and it was a lot more simple. It was a completely different way of life. There was just not the luxury involved like it is now. But what a time to be alive, right? Now we can really get into handcrafted, enjoyable cocktails, and we can enjoy a cocktail for more than just the intrinsic getting drunk value. And I'm going to say that one more time, guys. I am promoting here having a cocktail and a cigar to relax a little bit. All right, I strongly believe in almost anything is okay in moderation. I think alcohol, one drink of alcohol can help relax, can help calm you down, and can help even with kind of a meditative session of smoking a cigar, as well as one cigar, maybe once a week, something like that. That's what I'm going to do right now. This is my one cigar and one drink for the week. So let's just get right into it. You're going to want, if you're going to make yourself a fine cocktail, like I said, the old-fashioned is basically just whiskey. At one point in time, it was just whiskey, and it poured over a sugar cube and whisked up real good, okay? I mean, it was just, they put a little bit of, the whiskey was so bad that they put a little bit of, they put a sugar cube in it so you could drink it. Well, it's not 1920 anymore. We're not bootlegging liquor, all right? Well, some of us still might be, but we're not making whiskey in the back river anymore. My family's not making whiskey in the river anymore, okay? And so that being said, you have to start with a good whiskey, because an old-fashioned doesn't do much to hide bad whiskey. This is a bourbon here, and this is actually my favorite right now, and it's not super expensive, but it's Matthew McConaughey did this with Wild Turkey, and it's the Long Branch, and they just did a heck of a job. They really just did a heck of a job. It's the smooth, in my opinion, it's the smoothest bourbon on the market right now. It's smooth, and the flavor profile is just unbelievable, and it's not expensive, all right? If you're going to make an old-fashioned, start with a great bourbon, all right? Start with a great bourbon. You can do Pappy Van Winkle, something like that, but, a Taylor's, something in there. I've got some Jefferson's. To me, Jefferson's not everything it's cracked up to be, but you get my drift. Start with a good one, all right? I'm going to do here, let's see how much is in this bottle, because we're getting towards the bottom end of the bottle here, so I'll do, this is a jigger, okay? It's got the big side and the small side for you guys who are not so fast catching on. And there's not a whole lot left in here. I don't think there's going to be 2 full shots. There's not. So that's fine. I'm going to finish this bottle. And that's actually about the perfect amount. I don't want to do 2. I'd like to do about 3 ounces, all right? If we're measuring, and I think that's what I just put in there exactly, was about 3 ounces. I don't have to use the jigger necessarily, but for you guys, I'll use the jigger. 3 ounces of a good, smooth, okay, bourbon. From there, this is now, I'm born and raised in Florida. I'm a Florida dude, okay? I'm Florida man, for you guys who know my story. And this is going to be a tropical Florida orange twist on everything, all right? So now you've got, the idea behind the old-fashioned is sweetening it up, but not putting too much, okay? We're going to go a little further than maybe people would want to. It might be considered more of a Manhattan. I don't know how you want to get into it, but this is a whiskey drink, all right? A man's whiskey drink. I'm calling it the Bone Old Fashioned. We're not putting sugar in its raw form in any kind, but these are from Collins. These are orange twists in syrup, okay? So what we've got in here is a little orange twist, which you've seen that they stick on a drink. They stick on the rim of a drink. It's a piece of an orange peel, but these are fermented basically in sugar syrup. So depending on how sweet I want it, I'm going to put a little bit of that sugar syrup in there. All right, there we go. And that's where my sugar's coming from. It's from the syrup. You could use raw brown cane sugar. If you don't like oranges, you can use maraschino cherries and the maraschino cherry juice, okay? Now, we're on an orange kick here, and really any good whiskey cocktail has some sort of bitters. So we're going with the Bitter Truth orange bitters. You can go, I do 3 shakes, okay? 3 shakes, and you guys saw I put a little extra in there. 3 shakes and a kick. So there we go. We've got the orange bitters. We've got the orange twist and syrup. Remember, the sugar comes from the syrup. We've got now, I have to clean this up in a minute. We've got now a couple other liqueurs that I'm going to put in there and just really kick it to the next level. This is Licor 43, okay? And this is basically 43. And this is basically, it's a Spanish liqueur. Nobody really knows everything that's in it, but it's awesome. All right, it's awesome. So I'm gonna do about between 1/2 and 3/4 of an ounce of this. All right, a little, probably let's just say 1/2 ounce. I'm gonna do about 1/2 ounce of that, and this is gonna really put it. It's gonna be a nice, strong drink, okay, macho drink. It's whiskey, bourbon, but now we're kicking it into just giving it a very deep flavor profile, but all on the same note, okay. This is going to give it a kick of honey, and then this is going to take it it's going to be Grand Marnier cognac with. This is a product of France where they basically infuse orange into a cognac. So I'm going to do also about 1/2 ounce of this as well. All right, and then that's it. That's it. But this drink is really gonna be, it's amazing. You guys that don't like harsh, sour, drinks, that's the kind of guy I am. I like smooth, I like sweet, but I like flavor. I'm the same way with cigars. I do a Connecticut broadleaf, okay? And now you guys can see I'm stirring this. I put a couple ice cubes in here, and I'm stirring this to chill it, okay? All I'm doing is chilling it, but I'm stirring it to chill it, okay? It's gonna mix all that stuff. I really need to stir it good because that syrup from the orange syrup needs to mix thoroughly into it. But I don't want any old crappy ice cubes in my drink, okay? So what am I gonna do now? Well, I need to have a shaker glass, and it needs to be, you need to make your own ice cubes, okay? Handmade ice cubes is the only way to go. The ice cube has to be proportionate to the glass. I use skull shape sometimes if I want to have fun. I use round, I use square. This was a square. I really prefer to put it right in there and then pour the drink over the top of it. This has been sitting in there for a minute because I'm doing it for you guys. I'm here in my office and I don't want to be running back and forth to the freezer. But basically, your cocktail set is going to include your stirring thing, your jigger, okay, and then a way that the ice that's in here doesn't get in my drink, yet I can still pour myself the drink, okay? And if you made it right, it's gonna perfectly fill up your whiskey tumbler with your 1 ice cube, okay? Don't get crazy with the ice, guys. The ice needs to be the right size and the right ratio. That's how you make a cocktail. That, gentlemen, is how you make a cocktail. Now let's get into the cigar. Comment below if you think you know what cigar I'm about to smoke. All right? If you said Cohiba from Havana, Cuba, you're absolutely correct. Yes, these are straight from Cuba. All right? I prefer to get my cigars from Cuba when I can. All right? I just opened this box the other day and I destroyed it because I didn't quite. I've got knives all around me, right? But I couldn't figure out how to get the slide on there working. Let's see. A great knife for opening cigar boxes is the Ghost, the NPE Ghost knife. Okay, there we go. It's that simple. All right, so I messed it up, but it's got all this beautiful writing inside, and they've got these, they come in their own individual tubes. Now, you guys got to be very careful that you don't get fake cohibas, because there's fake cohibas everywhere. So the best way to get them is to get them straight from Cuba. I would recommend, if you don't get them from Cuba, to get them from a Latin American country, because when I was in Europe, guys, there was fake cohibas at every Italian, every Czech Republic, every place that I went, there was fake cohibas all over the place. Now this is real quickly, this is a very smooth cigar. If you like heavy and strong, okay, when you make your cocktail, don't put in the orange twist in syrup. Don't put any syrup in it. Just skip that part. If you like heavy and strong, don't go to Cohiba. Go right to the Romeo y Julieta. Okay, go right to the Romeo and Juliet. Romeo y Julieta. I don't know, however you want to say it. Romeo y Julieta. But whatever you want to do, okay, if you have that type, if you like your coffee black, you're going to be the type of person to prefer one of these cigars. Romeo and Juliet, Romeo y Julieta, over a Cohiba. Okay, the Cohiba is going to be a lot smoother smoke. I prefer Connecticut broadleaf, or at very least something smooth like a Cohiba. Okay. Now, all good cigars in any kind of a size that's going to be the size of your finger or larger is going to need to be cut. So make sure you have a good cutter. Newer Cohibas like this, they have these holograms and stuff on them, but on the cigar, not on the packaging, okay? So a lot of what I saw when I was in Europe of the fakes, they had holograms all over the packaging. They still don't do a ton of holograms. The older, the better, before they had the hologram, but just be careful, guys. Do your due diligence and make sure that you're not buying some fake stuff, okay? The cutter is a very important part of the cigar, okay? It's gonna smoke how it cuts. You know, there's all kinds of cutters out there. This is nothing special, and if I really wanted to, I could have very easily cut it with my NPE Ghost knife. These knives are harder and sharper than steel. They're $30. They're available at www.bonetactical.com. The reason that they're good for cutting a cigar, filleting a fish, chores like that is because they're very thin, okay? If you have a very thick blade, it might cause the cigar to break a little bit when you cut it. So if you think along those lines, even a razor blade would be better than a kitchen knife, if we're going to talk about that. But if you're going to smoke a cigar, if you're going to pay, you know, in the United States, this cigar is worth about $50. If you're going to pay $50 for a cigar, at least get a cutter, okay, guys? Cut your cigar properly. I like to moisten it a little bit so it doesn't, you know, just in case, so it doesn't break the wrapper at all. Then the next thing you do is you just singe just around the outside so you seal it in for when you light it, okay? You singe just around the outside of the cigar itself. You're going to want to use a jet flame lighter or matches, okay? I'll always remember this beautiful little town in Colombia that I was hanging out in, off right on the coast, and went into a little cigar shop, and this young lady, we became fast friends and spent a lot of time together after this, but she was the first one to teach me, for some reason. Call me crazy or stupid, I'll admit that I've been both, and maybe am both. But she was the first one to show me that you can take 3 matches out of the pack of matches and put them together if it's a little windy outside, and in order to light a cigar, it's going to do a lot better job. You can just take 3 matches out of a pack of matches, and there's nothing wrong with lighting a cigar with matches. Just please don't light a cigar with a Bic lighter, okay? But if you can get as matches, you can use a little pack of matches and put a couple matches, 2 or 3 matches together, and it makes them a lot more powerful. They're not going to blow out, and you can finish lighting your whole cigar with those matches, okay? Yeah, I can't, I don't know why I didn't think of that myself, but I guess we just get in the habit of striking matches one at a time, but there's just no reason to do that. From here, you just want to make sure you get it lit right. For those of you that haven't smoked a cigar, you roll it around in your mouth like a fine wine, the smoke. You don't inhale it. You roll it around in your mouth like a fine wine, and you blow it out. That's it. All right, let's do some questions and answers for you guys. And slide my computer over here and see what you guys are talking about. All righty. I'll start back at the top. Everybody's checking in, saying hi. Hi, guys. Thank you. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Cheers from New Hampshire. Thomas likes the jersey. These jerseys are awesome and available only and exclusively, only at www.bonetactical.com. Arkansas checking in. Hey, Arkansas. Wow, people checking in from all over. Raw Power, how you doing, buddy? Wanted to say thank you for replacing my ghost knife after taking a... Okay, here's a prime example of our customer service. N2W Sean, I don't know, he's got a long name, said, I wanted to say thank you for replacing my ghost knife after taking a boxing punch to the chest. Okay, he straight up told me, look, I got punched in the chest and my knife broke. And I told him, the NPE ghost knife says right on the website, these are not EDC knives, they're NPE. You don't wear this every day because it's not steel, it's fragile from a side blow, okay? If torque gets on this thing, it can break it, but it'll go through a metal detector. So you wear this knife when you want to go through a metal detector with a knife, okay? Not every single day, not when you're going to boxing practice, but I still replace this knife for him because that's the customer service we have. He said, I bought the Sicario shirt and I love it. And he's getting this jersey today. Thank you, sir, for your business. Thank you for your support. Thank you. All of you who support Bone Tactical. Raw Power said he's got a small bicycle light that he bought from AliExpress, and it's brighter than a car. That's very interesting, Raw Power, that your bicycle light from AliExpress is brighter than a car. Can I sell you a couple of my favorite cigars? I don't sell cigars, sir. I don't get into it. If you want to send me an email and I can help you out somehow or hook you up, I've got a humidor full. So buy something off my website, and if you can't get a good cigar, I'll give you one at my cost. Just shoot me an email and buy something off my website. I'll send you a PayPal link or something. You can PayPal me whatever my cost is, and I'll shoot you one in your next Bone Tactical order. But I don't sell cigars, guys. I'm not. That's not my thing. Alcohol. This guy likes alcohol. Got to be careful with alcohol, guys. Again, just make sure that you're doing it responsibly. Okay. Hi, Leah. How you doing, Fernando? And hi, Leah. Pastor of reality. Drunkenness is the problem. Not having a drink or two. Remain in self-control when you drink. I agree. Restock the pre-ground coffee. Somebody asked me to restock the pre-ground coffee. Actually, we bagged up the coffee yesterday in Honduras, and we put it into little bags. It just got finished getting ground, fresh. The smell of this coffee, guys, is unbelievable. If you want to smell fresh ground coffee, I got beans in stock right over there. I've got beans in stock, whole beans already roasted and everything, ready to grind. Grind them yourself, and because it's all the good flavor and everything is contained on the inside there, you can grind them and then get that smell is just unbelievable. I've still got, who's the guy asking for the coffee? The People's Rooster is asking for the coffee. The People's Rooster, buddy, buy yourself a bag of that ground of the whole bean coffee and grind it yourself. Get a cheap coffee grinder, okay? Doesn't have to be an expensive one, and just check the difference there, buddy. But we'll have the ground coffee up on the website here. I'm not sure. We're having all kinds of issues right now with, we just got our farm, you know, out of basically being flooded and destroyed by the hurricanes. So it wasn't, you know, we lost maybe 50% of the farm, but we didn't lose everything, thank God. So we're just now getting back into like rebuilding, you know, stuff's just now getting rebuilt, and the roads going in and out are nasty. So it's a lot of work, guys. It's a lot of work, and what I'm concentrating on right now is my outreach program, and basically what I'm concentrating on is getting donations and sending them down to the people that need them, because people are hurting down there. People aren't even people don't have money. People that lived in a tin shack, okay? Imagine that you live in a tin shack with a dirt floor. All of your belongings are in there, a couple pots and pans. You know, you go to the bathroom either in a hole in the ground or in a pot or a pan and just go down to the river and wash it out. In the same pot you eat with, it could be, who knows, you know what I mean? It's that bad, it's bad, guys. And the hurricane comes through and the river floods and it washes everything you own away. Maybe killed some of your family, took them with you, because where the heck are you gonna go? You got nowhere to go. And now there's no roads, the bridge is washed out, you don't have a car, so you know, I mean, it's just a bad situation. So I'm putting a container of provisions together, and you guys that have sent stuff, thank you for heeding the call, okay? Thank you for heeding the call, because I've got a room over here full of non-perishable food items, bags of beans, hygiene products, all that stuff. Thank you, guys. And check out the Instagram for more information on that. Every day I put a post up about what we're doing down there to save people's lives. Literally, guys, not even joking. We are saving lives down there, and we are doing it with your help. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will move on. I know you guys don't want to hear about this, but I'm very passionate about helping people and making the world a better place. So, thank you, guys. Mario Cortez asked, how was everyone's day? Mine was pretty good, Mario. Just kind of catching up on some paperwork today. Worked in the office here on the computer, not a whole lot of stuff. Kind of winding down a little bit now. Joe's in Florida. Joe's checking in from Florida. Me too. Leon Hawkins said it's his dad's birthday, and he wants me to shout out Nick Gers. Nick Gers or Gores, how you doing, buddy? Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Ethan Barnes said he's going to check out the Ghost Knife. You won't be disappointed if you do. Larry Sizemore said he loves my stuff from Michigan. Thank you, Larry. Orlando Perez checking in from New Mexico. Pastor of Reality asked, what alcohols do I recommend in order to have a well-stocked, high-end bar? Okay. That's kind of a double-ended question. Because who are you stocking your bar for? Are you stocking your bar for yourself, or are you stocking your bar for someone else? If you're stocking your bar for someone else, then, you know, get a little bit of everything. If it's an actual bar and you're doing it to, you know, have a bar in general, you're going to need tequila, you're going to need vodka, you're going to need, you know, a little bit of everything. So, tequila, The Rock came out with a new tequila I got to try the other day, and it's very good, especially for the price, it's well priced. Also for the price, $1,800 is good. I'm a silver tequila guy. If I'm not buying some small batch tequila from Mexico, then I usually just do $1,800. It's very rare that I'll have like a margarita or something, so a bottle of $1,800 lasts me forever. Let's see, what else we got? How about, you're going to need a vodka. Kettle One's good. Grey Goose, I like Grey Goose a lot. There's people say it's overhyped, but I really like Grey Goose. It's a good, smooth vodka. Kettle's good. You know, as far as the bourbon goes, I just told you my favorite. You know, bourbon's there. Rum, Flor de Caña, 7 años, is hard to beat. Flor de Caña, okay? Flor de Caña, the name is in Spanish. It means cane flower, and it's from Nicaragua, and it is an amazing rum and very, very, very fair price. Get the 7-year, because the 7-year is considerably better than any of the others and not a whole lot more expensive. The 21-year and the, you know, the 15-year, I believe they have those as well. They're just not really worth the price. So get the 7-year. Let's see. Hello from Germany. hate his opinion, just said, I almost opened a bottle of Stickpimpuli today from Germany. What should be minimum length for a knife to do its job? Pro versus cons of knife length above a certain length, like 8-inch. Okay, I say several times on my website that the minimum length a knife should be is 2.5 inches. Okay? This knife is the most concealable and most effective concealed carry knife in the world. It's the EDC Kenk. Alright? This blade is almost 3 inches. Alright? It's nasty. This recurve right here, that bevel, means that at any time I'm in here slashing, it's going to bite in, okay, and slash. That narrow angle here, also the angle here, being very narrow, okay, means that it's going to stab like crazy. It slashes and it stabs like a much larger knife. So it's not all about the size of the knife, it's about the design. Because this knife is 6 inches long, okay, give or take. Check the website for the exact length. It's small. It'll fit in the palm of my hand. I could be here talking to you like this. Da, 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 we're talking. You don't see that I have a knife in my hand. We're just talking. We're talking. I'm talking. Close it and then stab, okay? That's all I would really have to do. And yeah, I mean, that's it's deep enough to cut any kind of a major artery or anything like that. So don't get into the whole mindset of it's all about size. No matter what your girlfriend tells you. Just kidding. Sorry, guys. But it's not always all about size. Size is big, but you got to hit that minimum, and then from there it's all about design. Because a really well-designed knife, which is hard to find, there's very few well-designed knives. I make the most effective edge weapons in the world because I have better designs than everyone else. But let me give you an example of when size does become a big issue. When chopping, okay, the weight, the forward belly you have here is so important for chopping that a knife like this, like the Bowie, the Bloody Bill Bowie, is a huge knife, but you really need that size of a knife if you're going to be serious about chopping. A friend of mine, Double Tapper, in Israel, asked me to make him a knife that he could carry on his chest rig, that if a terrorist had a remote in his hand, that could stab, fight, cut wire with a sawback, and that could chop a terrorist's hand or forearm bad enough that it would basically stop his ability to trigger a bomb that he had in his hand if he had a remote for a bomb in his hand. So as far as that goes, that's kind of what you're looking at. It's more about design, but you definitely want 2.75 inch minimum, I would say. Most people say 2.5, I would say 2.75. Then, on the other hand, you've got, we've seen prison fights where guys will take a leaf out of a razor that the length, the actual, from the sharp end to the back is like millimeters, okay? Maybe a quarter of an inch less. It's like 1/8 of an inch, maybe. It's long, but from the sharpened front to the back, okay, it's negligible. They'll heat it up and melt it into a handle of a toothbrush, and the only thing it can do is slash because it's so small it can't stab. But guys will do a lot of damage with those little things, okay? So if for example, if I'm cutting here with a knife that can only cut, you gotta understand, a knife is not a finite thing. So what we learn from those prison fights when these guys have a knife that's this long, okay, is I'm cutting here and I'm applying pressure, but what happens? That knife can dig in. The knife can go deeper than the knife itself. So just because this knife is this wide, if I'm applying pressure this way, it doesn't mean that the knife can't enter indefinitely, let's say, if it doesn't hit bone or something like that. So there's so much to be considered when talking about designing a weapon. And it's difficult to explain, but what I challenge you to do is go read my website, because these knives that you see behind me are the most effective in the world for a reason, okay? The amount of work and knowledge and science behind these knives and experience is just, it's too much to explain. So, and the most important thing about the size of a knife is, will you have it if you need it? So if you can't conceal that knife, so the overall length of 6 inches, if you can't conceal, if it's not smaller than that, you're not going to have it if you need it. Not all the time. So that's another thing. Top Roller said he loves his NPE Ghost knife. He said he also loved the video on black powder. Wow, this is a good cigar. You can always tell a good Cohiba. There's really nothing like it. There's nothing quite like it. You can always tell. That's another way you can tell a cigar if it's real or not. Once you've smoked one, you know what to expect. And I told a guy at a shop in Italy, I was there last year, and I told him, I said, look, this is fake, I can tell by looking at it. You know, I work and live in Latin America. I know my cigars. He said, no. So I said, okay, whatever. We talked about it. I told him, okay, I'll buy one of them from you, and I'll smoke it, and then I'll buy a box if it's real. I bought it wasn't real, but there I was in Italy without cigars, and I had to try something. So all they had was fake cigars. They had no real cigars from Latin America, and then they had some. Yeah, it's interesting. I guess they don't get big into cigars there. That is a good smoke, though, gentlemen. Okay. Kentucky Gentleman Bourbon, Joe said. Timothy is a Crown and Ginger guy. Okay. You know, I'm not a big Crown guy. I don't like blended whiskeys. But some of the stuff from Crown XR and higher is drinkable. I will give you that. Because, you know, what is this that I'm drinking? It's a cocktail. So what is a blended whiskey? It's basically a cocktail at that point. So they can do a good job, but they don't do a good job. You get what you pay for. Okay, so stock, you know, everyday Crown is not good liquor. I would challenge you to try the XR or above if you like Crown. If you're a Crown guy, the XR is it's not bad. It's not a bad. It's got a much better flavor profile, for sure. Brandy Fernando Cuenca said, "Hey Bone, my uncle has a section of his company that deals with nonprofit containers, and they send food and just about everything to help people. I will talk to him. Maybe he can help you do something good." Hey, that's awesome. Brandy Fernando Cuenca. Hey, I'm right over here. We're packing food and goods and all this stuff. People are sending me, you know, donations, so I can get a container down there to the people that need it. I'm about to send a container. So if you've got some kind of a special hookup where I can get a better price on a container or something like that, let me know. Please do. Please do. Thank you. N2 Wishon said that he's stuck in California, and that's why he's purchasing as much bone tactical equipment as he can. It's a good all my stuff is California legal, so I have a huge market in California because the people in California realize that you need something you can carry every day, and all of these self-defense tools I've got up here, these bone breakers and stuff, you can have them anywhere in California, and they're super effective, and you're not going to go to prison over it. Okay? Okay, so it's good to have your stash for you guys that are preppers and have something for, you know, end of the world and all that, whatever. But you also need something for today, because the world may not end tomorrow, but you may have a serious situation tomorrow where somebody tries to do you harm and you need a weapon to defend yourself, okay? So think about that. Moses asked if there's internet out here. Last time I checked, Florida had pretty good internet services, but don't get me started on the internet companies. These guys have these dang internet companies set up like a monopoly in the large cities and stuff, and they've got it all set up. Comcast and all these guys, Verizon, they're just running terrible businesses, and they know that they don't need to have good customer service. They don't need to treat people good or do the right thing. So they just set everything up to make it, you know, they're just robbing people left and right. It's terrible. But people need to get together. People need to get together and not let them do that kind of stuff. What is my opinion on cold steel knives? You know, when I was a kid, I had a lot of cold steel knives. That's all I used, actually, when I was a young boy. Did a lot of hunting, did a lot of fishing, was always in the woods, always. You know, I'm talking about, if I wasn't in school as a young man, I was in the woods, catching rattlesnakes, all that stuff, you know. And all I used was cold steel knives. And, you know, the thing about cold steel knives is they don't make any of their knives. They don't make any of their knives, it's, to my knowledge, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm 100% sure that they don't make it. No, they don't make any of their knives, okay? I've met the owner, talked to him, okay, all this stuff, yeah. They don't make any of their knives. Unless something's changed, maybe they make one or two, but as of last year, the last Blade Show, we talked and he didn't make any of his knives, okay? So, he's got great designs. He's this very intelligent guy. He knows, you know, he knows the market. He puts the right people. He's a good management guy. He's a coach's coach, okay? What does that mean? He puts this good designer, he gets this good designer designing a good knife. He finds a good manufacturer in China that can do a decent job but make it cheap. What's the problem with a company like that? They have no oversight. So cold steel, he may get a bad batch of knives and not even know it. They might not be properly heat treated, and he has no idea because he just pays this person in China to make his knives for him, and then he sends them to you when you buy it. Okay, so are they good knives? If you know, I think they are, but I think that they should be a whole lot cheaper because you're now these days you're paying for more than you get, unfortunately. And being a knife maker and in the industry, I see the need to. My knives are extremely expensive. The majority of them, a lot of them, in my opinion, they're expensive. Why? Because I have 100% oversight. Okay, every aspect of this I do myself, or I watch it get done because I'm training apprentices to learn how to make knives, okay? This is my tools, my equipment that's making these. My knife grinder that I built is grinding these knives, okay? So, anything other than that, you just don't know what you're gonna get. So, when you buy from Bone Tactical, you know what you get. And if you buy a knife from me, I can tell you, hey, this is what the good thing about that knife is, this is the bad thing, this is what you're gonna get. And if you, like the guy just said earlier, hey Bone, I bought one of your ceramic knives and I was boxing and a guy punched me in the chest and it broke. And I said, first of all, you don't do that. I told you in the website, you don't do that. It's an NPE knife. It's only for non-permissive environments. It's not for everyday use. You don't wear it boxing, okay? But here's your warning, I'll send you another one. Because, why? Because customer service. Because you guys are, at the end of the day, what makes Bone Tactical. And I'm going to support you guys as much as you support me. So, can you talk to the owner of Cold Steel? Does he know what his knives are doing? No. No. Can you talk to the owner of Bone Tactical? You're talking to him right now. Do I know everything about everything that I make? Yes. So that's the difference. That's the difference. N2 Wishon is looking for a good boot knife. Okay, buddy. $30. This, guys, this is insane that this knife is $30, okay? I don't know if you guys understand it or not, but I literally changed the world of knives when I brought this out. It's the EDC Relentless, and I made a knife available for $30 with a handmade Kydex sheath, okay? Hand fitted everything. Hand ground for $30 with 100% oversight. You can't find that anywhere. Anyway, you see these holes on the side of this? Boot laces go right through those, okay? Zip ties, anything. This makes a great boot knife. Rivet that inside your boot. Get creative and find a way to connect this to the inside of your boot. It's a double-sided blade and it makes one heck of a boot knife. That knife you can mount anywhere. This is the most versatile knife pretty much in existence, and 100% the most versatile knife that's budget friendly. All right, it's double-sided blade, so you can mount it either way, any kind of way. It's asymmetrical, all right, or it's symmetrical. It's symmetrical, so both sides are the same. All right, so it's just it's got those holes in there, and you can use anything to mount screws, rivets, zip ties, anything. I did a few, okay, Draco Militia said, I did a few reviews on some of your products. Would love your opinion and feedback on my videos so I can improve my skills. I haven't seen them, bud, so shoot me an email, greg@bonetactical.com. Send me one of your reviews. I'd love to see them, and I'll let you know what I think. Thank you. The People's Rooster, if you get a bag of those beans and you grind them, okay, the People's Rooster, if you're still watching, I told him he's upset because my coffee's sold out my ground coffee's sold out. Our farm just got hit by 2 hurricanes. I'm sorry, guys, but we're working on it, all right? It's a lot of work. The coffee farm just got hit by 2 hurricanes. Anyway, I do have still some whole bean coffee in stock. And what I told the People's Rooster was, that's amazing. If you ground it yourself, it's fresher because you can have that coffee immediately once it's ground. It's amazing. So he said he's going to try it and grind it. Now, the People's Rooster, if you're watching this, if you don't love, I'm not telling you if you don't like it. I don't care if you like it. If you don't love that coffee that you buy, he just told me he's going to buy a bag of my whole bean coffee and grind it himself because I don't have ground coffee. If you don't love it, shoot me an email, greg@bonetactical.com, and I'll give you your money back. You're going to love the coffee. Point blank, period. Can I make handgun holsters? I really like your work with Kydex. Yeah, man, all my holsters that I use on my plate carriers and stuff I made them all, so yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. A bone cigar cutter would be cool. I agree, but I can only do so much. I've got the design in the works, but I really need a CNC machine. And hey, keep supporting the channel, keep commenting, give me your feedback. When I have a CNC machine, it'll be game over for everybody else in the knife industry. Right now, nobody can compete on fixed blade knives. When I can start making cool stuff with a lot of little intricate moving parts, watch out. Alright. Cold Steel catalog days. Yeah, that was fun. Those were good times. Let's see. Ryan Golden said, the Balvenie Doublewood 12-year is so great. Listening the way to the live chat, looking out on the lake here in Texas on my houseboat. Wow, Ryan, that sounds awesome. Cheers, Ryan. Ryan's on his houseboat right now, having a nice 12-year. Enjoy, buddy. High Class Hawaii said he's going to start off his bone tactical experience with an EDC Relentless and get a ghost knife as soon as possible. Those are great blades, man. They're hard to beat. They're super budget friendly blades. So, you know, you'll like them. I really hope you guys will get to one day experience the high-end lineup as well. But the budget-friendly stuff are awesome knives to carry every day. Especially the EDC Relentless. It's basically unbelievable for 30 bucks. If you could only have one knife, it'd be the knife to have. And since it's 30 bucks, you can buy two of them. If you mess one up, you just already have the know-how, or you're already used to it, and you just pop the other one on. If you lose one, you're more likely to lose it than mess it up. But Mark Watts has it on his tool bag, by the way. Mark Watts just commented. And Mark, thank you for the pictures. Those were some cool pictures. I posted them, I think, to my Instagram story. He sent me a picture. He fixed his EDC Relentless to his tool bag with zip ties. It worked out perfectly for him. He uses it every day. So, thank you, Mark. Gamma Rayburst asked if I'm ever going to design and make a folder. I've already designed several folders. The problem is just the equipment and machinery is expensive, so at the point where I have my own CNC shop is when I'll start making the folders that I've already designed. Cody D is thinking about moving to Central America to get out of the United States, and what country down there has the best gun laws? Probably Guatemala. I'd say Guatemala. You gotta understand the way those companies work. The laws are not 100% of everything. It's more about having connections there. So you've got to make connections in whatever country. If you go to Central America, you can't really just, it's really hard for an outsider to just move there and start up without knowing anybody, because just everybody's going to take advantage of you. So it's unfortunate, but it's not as easy as just moving out of the United States to somewhere else. You're just going to get taken advantage of, robbed, killed, whatever, check out whatever, check the box. But there's a reason that not everybody's going down there, because yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of freedoms. Yes, if you have connections, you can do great things. There's opportunity for people with money, but if you don't know the culture or have connections, it's you're asking for trouble. High Class, buddy, I hear you. High Class Knives Hawaii, I hear you. I will, High Class Knives, if you're watching this, use code, listen now, I'm going to give you a 10% off discount code. I don't give out a whole lot of discount codes. LT10 at checkout from the website, bonetactical.com. Just when you go to checkout, type in LT10 as a discount code, it'll give you 10% off. You're welcome, buddy. So I'm guessing that's not that the tomahawks don't fit or connect to molly straps. Garrett FOG Recon 95. Let's talk a little bit about molly straps and my stuff. Obviously, 90% of what I connect my knives to, 90% of what the Special Forces guys using my knives are connecting to is molly. Okay? But everybody, for some reason, all these, quote unquote operators, and, actual operators, people call themselves, it doesn't matter. People have this, for some reason, people have this idea in their mind that you have to have a molly strap to attach something to molly. But let me, I'm an old dog. Let me just tell you something from my experience. Take it with a grain of salt. But when you're connecting to molly straps suck, okay? There's no molly system that doesn't suck. The molly say this is a plate carrier, backpack, chest rig, whatever, okay? It's got molly on here. that's fine that it's MOLLE compatible. It has the MOLLE slots. All right, here's your MOLLE hookups. But what's a million times easier if you just stick a zip tie through there and zip it, okay? And everything else in the world uses these round holes, all right? And you don't have to have some kind of an extra attachment like this. Of course, you can put, I sell these on my website too. They clip right into MOLLE, yes. But the best way to do it is to use a zip tie. Now, the U.S. government actually has a contract for zip ties. So I've worked in certain areas where there's been, the first time I saw them, they were a government issued zip tie, okay? And they were, Tie and Bets, I believe was the company. And they were they're not zip ties like you see at Lowe's or Home Depot that suck and your gear's gonna fall off. But what they are is a zip tie that's UV protected, really tough. It's UV stabilized, they're really tough, and they have a little metal insert inside the zip tie part. They're expensive, they're not cheap. I think the government pays like $7 a piece for these little zip ties, okay? So they're not cheap. But, and there were, where I got them from, there was like thousands of them. But you could use those for MOLLE and it's a million times better. Just make sure you get the good ones, okay? Metal inserts, UV stabilized, and your gear is more stable and it's just better in every way. You don't have to mess around with trying to thread through the MOLLE. So check those out. Check out the zip ties. Siege, the Red Pill Rocker, asked Bloody Bill Bowie or Bushcraft Spear. That's a kind of a complicated question. I would need to know what you were using it for, sir. Bloody Bill Bowie or Bushcraft Spear. They're both designed for completely different purposes, but you're pretty smart by comparing the two and asking the question, because although they were designed for completely different purposes, they're very, very similar knives. So both can be used for bushcraft. Bowie knives have been used for bushcraft since the Civil War. But one is just a little bit better for bushcraft, and one is just a little bit better for modern combat, okay? One's a little bit better fighting knife, and one's a little bit better for bushcraft. So the Bushcraft Spear is better for bushcraft, and the Bloody Bill Bowie is a little bit better for modern combat. But they're both very similar knives. You're welcome, High Class Knives Hawaii. Hope you're still watching. Big Tejas said, "Dang brother, moving on up, living the dream." Trying, man. I am working my butt off, believe it or not, these days still. But I love it. I love what I do. This is, I feel like honestly that I'm living, what I'm doing, what I'm supposed to be doing, living God's plan for my life and making the world a better place. So, to me, what I see when I see success, let's say, to me it looks like having this room right over here that you see, it's right off camera. This room is filled with food, okay? It's filled with hygiene products. It's filled with bags of beans and rice and Spam and toothpaste and antibacterial soap and so much stuff that I'm putting a container together to send to people that right now are starving, okay? What I don't feel like I'm successful enough is because I can't send it down there tomorrow. But me being able to help people that need it makes me feel successful. So thank you, sir. Thank you. Garrett FOG Recon 95 said it looks like he's getting a tomahawk. You won't be disappointed, Garrett. Shoot me an email, greg@bombtactical.com. Any problems you have, I will do my best to help you. If you know, mounting issues, you know, if you want to know, you know, how to mount it, where to mount it, best use, what color to get, shoot me an email. I'm available, guys. I make myself as available as possible. I don't answer like DMs and stuff like that on Instagram because you guys don't even understand. I probably spend 3 hours a day answering emails, at least. That's not even, way more than that. I spend a lot of time, you know, keeping up with, you know, everything with you guys. So I'm here. I make myself available. And at the end of the day, I'm here to help. Mark Watts said, great customer service and great products. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Dom Bond said, knives are his hobby and more people need to hear what I'm doing. I agree. One of the things that I find interesting is, well, the way I look at it, some people say that I've had, you know, great success in the industry, coming from, you know, nothing, coming from nowhere, starting at zero and getting to where I'm at now, making the most effective edged weapons and self-defense tools in the world. To me, though, honestly, I feel like that I agree with you when you say more people need to hear what I'm doing. And I guess that's why I do the YouTube thing, because I see people, you know, or I guess I don't see it, but I know people are buying inferior edged weapons and self-defense products for a higher price and just getting, I feel like those people are getting taken advantage of. They don't have the opportunity to get the best if they haven't heard of Bone Tactical. So that's what I'm doing right now. And that's why I do stuff like this. That's why I hang out with you guys, do a live feed, shoot the breeze. You know, this is not something that I necessarily like. This is not my number one choice of things to do. I don't want to come in here necessarily and, you know, if I had to choose what I could do today, I didn't say, oh, I think I'm going to do a live video and, you know, converse, you know, and do all this stuff, because I'm a naturally a little bit reclusive person. Before the U.S. government, you know, started their hate campaign, their slander campaign against me, you know, putting my face out there and saying, you know, saying all this stuff about me that obviously now we've gotten past of knowing is not even close to reality. Before that, I really enjoyed being a private person. But, you know, the Lord works in mysterious ways, and I think that that I have something to say, and this is a great way to say it. Until YouTube shuts me down, I'll be here, guys. So I'm doing this for you guys. So I thank you for saying that you appreciate it. What you guys can do to help out, this probably went out, didn't it? Not quite. I saved it. Okay, what you guys can do to help out, go comment, go on a spree, comment on my videos, share my videos. You got WhatsApp, you have text messaging on your phone, right? How many people are you talking to on your phone right now? 10 people? Go find your favorite video of mine and send it to some people. Because I do need to get this stuff out there, okay? For those of you that maybe don't know everything I have going on, I've been, for several years now, I've been in a fight, I suppose you could say, for my rights and for my freedom. I was, this time of the year, a few years ago, I was in a black site prison in Germany. The German embassy told my friends and family and coworkers and loved ones that I was not in Germany and that they should just stop looking for me. Only by the grace of God was I ever heard from again. Okay? I went through things that no man should ever have to go through. And I'm here on the other side with a story. And like I said, that's why I do this stuff. And I'm not going to say that I don't ask for anything from my followers. I am asking you guys for something. And if, this is not for everybody. If you don't like it, if you don't like me, I'm sorry. Actually, let's be straight up. You guys know me. I'm not sorry. I am trying to make myself the best man that I can be. I'm doing what I can do to be the best man that I can be, and I believe that you guys are doing the same. I honestly believe that the people watching this video right now, the Bone Tactical supporters, we're all in the same boat. We've all had similar experiences. We live life. We've had ups, we've had downs. You watching this right now, I know for sure you have had bad experiences, and they suck, okay? You've had great experiences, and they were good times. But the reason that you're here hanging out with me is because you believe as well that you want to do something for somebody else than yourself. You're not a selfish person, and you're trying to pass the buck, so to speak, okay? You're trying to help the next guy. I don't want the next guy to make the same mistakes I made, all right? I don't want the next guy to have to deal with the trauma that I had to deal with in my life and have to deal with, okay? On a daily basis. You guys see the success I've had with my business, the nice whiskeys, the good cigars, and if that's all you see, you might think, wow, what a good life. A guy commented on here, what a good life. But we're all here for a reason. And if I have to ask you guys for something, what I will ask you is to pass the buck, and the way that we can, what I'm doing is trying to make my world a better place. If you support Bone Tactical, you support the channel, just share this. So we've got this guy in the comments that desperately wants my attention. Nestor T is his name, and he's going crazy, saying all kinds of stupid stuff to try and get my attention. So Nestor T, you've got my attention. Next stupid comment gets you blocked. Let's see. Are you? Let's see. Where did I leave off? I'm trying to get to you guys' questions and answers. All right. Oh, yeah. The People's Rooster's going to try cold brew because he saw my coffee making video. You're not going to be disappointed. Draco Militia also says that I have the best coffee. I appreciate that, man. It's an opinion, but I've tried a lot of coffees, and I put a ton of work into my coffee, and it's dang good. It may, if you have a different taste, it may not be your favorite, but I've never had anybody try my coffee and not. Check out the rating on the website. It's 5 stars. Every single person that has tried my coffee loves it. So that speaks for itself. Who would you say is the most sophisticated cartel in South America? So when you say South America, technically speaking, I think the cartels are more in what you would call Latin America, rather than South America, because South America is actually the continent of South America, and cartel basically just means group, but cartel kind of has like a Mexico feel to it. Like a lot of people that use it tend to use it for Mexican groups, and if that's the question, there's a cartel group of ex-military Mexican guys that is known to be the most, they were known to be the most sophisticated, and they were kind of, when they were battling Chapo before Chapo went in prison, they were They were quite sophisticated, and from my own personal experience, they were very sophisticated. Then from that point, also a lot of the, so you said South America, but the Mexican cartels have the most sophistication because they also sent a bunch of guys into the U.S. military to get military training and then to return to their cartel. So anyway, that's the answer. It would be Mexican cartels. Just, okay. Vash Matrix said that he wants to order one or two of those multi-tools after Christmas when he's not so broke. So what he's referring to from the multi-tool is this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. They are force multipliers, but legal anywhere in the world. Pretty crazy stuff. I mean, we've had people bring them on. I brought mine on more commercial flights and international flights than you can count, and never had a problem. The one with the People's Rooster said the one with the screwdriver is awesome. There's two with the screwdriver. We've got the aluminum one with the screwdriver, and then we've got the stainless steel one with the screwdriver. Siege, the red pill rocker, said that he needs to learn Spanish. How did I learn? I learned Spanish simply by listening to it. I probably need some classes because my Spanish is very street and very slang, and I need to learn the formal Spanish a little bit better. But I can understand and speak Spanish fluently. So it doesn't sound amazing always, but I understand everything that's said, and everybody understands me when I want to get a point across. That's what's important. Are your relentless EDC fixed blades good enough to be used as a throwing knife? If not, maybe that can be an idea for a future release. Okay, Joseph Perez asked me about throwing knives. Knife throwing is a hobby, okay, Joe? And you should never really count on throwing your weapon, no matter what your weapon is, if your life depends on that weapon or if you're going to be using that weapon to defend yourself, because when you throw it, it's gone. Okay? There's a few people who train incredibly and all they do is throw blades. And if they have multiple blades, maybe that's okay. But throwing knives is if you want to do it for a sport, it's over here. Oh, the Bushcraft Spear is an incredible throwing knife. It's balanced and it's just an incredible throwing knife. Okay, the Bushcraft Spear. If you're looking to throw something for sport, in all of the tomahawks that are in stock and shipping right now, throw very well. Because guys asked me to start making tomahawks that threw better, okay, for sport, and now they all throw very well. What would I consider the best edged weapon for self-defense or hand-to-hand combat if I had to choose one and only one weapon? What would I consider the best edged weapon for self-defense or hand-to-hand combat? Wow, so self-defense, one, and hand-to-hand combat are two completely different things. The best self-defense weapon is this one because it's defensive, okay? It's with an assault blade. When you're assaulting or you're in combat or something like that, you want to sneak up and you want to take your knife out and you want to come up behind the guy, okay, and cover his nose and mouth before he knows you're even there and stick this blade right in between his ribs. All right? That's a combat idea, okay? Because if you're going to win the fight, there's no fair fight, okay? So you come up from behind and you get rid of them before it's a fight, because you win every fight that you don't actually have to fight. If you're talking about self-defense, what's the best blade for self-defense? This one, the karambit. Why? Because you get that finger in the finger hole and it's locked in there. You're not going to drop it. You've got incoming attackers, and you're just moving this hand and slicing and slashing any way you move it. So that's to answer your story right there. Answer your question with a story. How much are my tomahawks? You've got to check the website. I changed the price based on availability. I changed the price based on how much it costs me to make them. Okay, right now they're in extremely limited supply. I've only got a few tomahawks left. And like for example, this one over here is the orange one is mine personally. They're sold out. Somebody bought the last one of that for like $800 or something like that. And you know, it's supply and demand. So I'm really working on trying to be able to make them faster so I can get the price down, but I'll never jeopardize quality for quantity. A lot of these other guys, they get popular, they start making tomahawks that are popular, and then they sell out. And they just make them fast and make them crappy so they can make money. I'll never do that. You have my promise, I'll never do that. When you buy something from me, you get what you pay for. Okay, Harold Haynes is asking, why not make a plan of where to broadcast if YouTube shuts me down? It'll be my website, guys. I'll probably put a podcast on my website or something like that. So, I don't think they can shut down, well, okay, yeah, obviously they can shut down anything they want. Talking about, if we're talking about the powers that be, the U.S. government has the potential to shut down somebody's website, of course. But I'm not in jeopardy of anything like that. So YouTube doesn't have the power to shut down my personal website. So if YouTube shuts my channel down, you guys are just going to have to come find me on my website. They've already shadow banned me on YouTube here and Instagram, so it's probably only a matter of time. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to take a few more questions and answers here. All right, let's give me a second. I'm gonna block this guy. This is the first time I've had to block a guy in a live feed after years of having the channel. Alrighty, just saying a bunch of stupid stuff. There we go. New World asked, thank you for everything you've taught me. Well, thank you for watching, sir. Cannon Williams says my question, but he didn't ask his question. What is the laptop model Alienware? This, I'm not sure. This is the 17 something. It's the biggest one they make, but I don't love this computer. I'm not going to lie, guys. I'll probably get another computer here for too long. It's just too big to travel with. So I'm going to end up leaving this laptop here in my office and then traveling with a smaller one. I'll probably do a Dell, I guess, maybe, because that's the same company. But I've had a lot of problems with Alienware. I've had a bunch of Alienwares, and I've had problems with them. But this one's, other than the battery, some battery issues, I haven't had as many problems with this one. Luke B asked if I make skinning knives. I do make skinning knives, but it's a custom order thing. So I actually just made one for a buddy that's in the Everglades skinning pythons. Pretty awesome. Outlaw Tyler recommends checking out the NPE Ghost Knife. And to Weeshawn said that he's going to get the jersey after the holidays. I love this jersey, man. I'm probably just going to wear it every day for the rest of my life. The Ghost Knife will skin very well. Yeah, the Ghost Knife's actually great for skinning. Luke B said that he trains too much with pistol and carbine to rely on a blade exclusively for defense. They're tools to me. Well, Luke, if you want my opinion, everything is a tool, And the more modernized our world gets and the more that government has the ability to track people and control people and make weapons-free zones and stuff like that, the less people are going to be able to use firearms to defend themselves. So maybe right now in America is the last place that there's a chance you'll have a firearm to defend yourself. But also, if you do use a firearm to defend yourself in America today, you're probably going to go to prison. So if you could learn how to use a knife to defend yourself, a knife doesn't make any noise, all right? Get where I'm going with this, all right? Prison isn't fun. If you've got a family, think about your family. Because if you use a pistol to defend yourself, you're going to open a can of beans, can of worms, can of beans. You're going to open a can of worms for yourself and your family. All right. I'm gonna probably sign off here in a second. I might take one more question. Nico Olmedo said that his girlfriend just got him the EDC Relentless and it's beautiful. Thank you, sir. I do appreciate your business, and I'm glad that your girlfriend got it for you. I know this holiday season there's been a lot of people buying, stuff for my website for their significant others and stuff. So, thank you. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna jump off here. I really do thank everybody for your support. I am gonna ask one more time that you guys who are watching this video, please, whatever video that you like the best of mine, or whatever video you think maybe your friends would like, please find one video of mine and send it to the last 5 people you've talked to, whatever you got there in your text messaging list. Do the share video, click share video, and then send it to some people so we can kind of get word out there about my channel. And I can keep doing stuff like this, so I can afford to do stuff like this, and I can afford to do more. So my products will get cheaper, all right? The bigger I get, the bigger my company gets, the more affordable my products will become, and the more we'll all benefit. So let's just continue trying to do the best for the community that we can. And I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. Bone out.